What's up in the loop? It's Hyde coming at you from, as the sign says, Indiana Beach. A little bit rainy, but we're going to check this really unique park out, kind of in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, about an hour and a half maybe northwest of Indianapolis. We are in the free parking. You can see not very many people here. The park opens in a few minutes. And to get to the park, you have to walk past all these little seaside hotels. Just around the park, it is kind of a little vacation area, including I like the name of that one right there. But we're going to trek through the rain, and the park is somewhere down there, so let's head inside. See the one roller coaster up there. Continue our journey down past all these little resorts. Want to note there are two parking lots, the north lot that we just showed you, and then the south lot. I actually think the south lot's a little cooler because you get to walk across this big bridge across the water to get in. But with the rain and the low crowds, it's not open today. But if you can, try to park in the south lot. You're coming here just for the park. All right, we are in the park, and this is crazy. There's like two wooden roller coasters on top of each other right there. You got Hoosier Hurricane going up there right there. But what you see over there, that is Cornball Express. That's what's crazy about this park. You just got rides on top of rides everywhere. Like up top here is the station for, I believe, Hoosier Hurricane. And down here is all kinds of goodies. It is Oktoberfest. There's rumors of $5 craft beers, which is always great. There's a sign. You know, in the loop here, we like drinking. You got like the log flume right there. Don't know if we'll go on that because it is cold by Florida standards. And this is kind of like the main drag here. You got the shops. And then of course, we'll check this out in a little bit here. Fascination, which is this game that used to be at almost every theme park out there, but not so much anymore. So let's get things started with their biggest coaster, the Hoosier Hurricane. Enter if you can brave the storm. Well, it's raining, so let's brave the storm of the hurricane here. So the Hoosier Hurricane, you can see it going up there through Cornball Express. You know, in theory, with the out and back layout, it kind of dips under and over the boardwalk area. You would think that it'd be a really great ride. A lot of hills, you think it'd be a lot of airtime, when in reality, it's pretty rough, and there's no airtime. We sat in the second last row, which should be easy win for airtime, and no luck there. So pretty disappointing. But neat ride because it goes along the water and, like I said, dips up and over the boardwalk. So quick ride count: you have Cornball Express, Hoosier Hurricane, and we are on top of the log flume. 3 rides on top of each other. Can't ever say a park running out of room like Cedar Point. Just come here and then you'll realize no one's really running out of room. Cornball Express is somewhere in the mess of this. Got like kiddie rides underneath, coaster track. All right, it says Cornball Express is over here. I have not seen it run, so I don't know if it's open yet. It's supposed to be open. Chain is down, that's a good sign. Here's the train. You just walk right across the train tracks. But let's go. Cornball Express. Perfectly named because we drove past miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of cornfields to get here. But again, like, you don't see this at most parks. You gotta walk up. I mean, this is probably at least 30-40 feet off the ground to start. And the coaster you see right there, I don't even think it's Cornball. No, the back one's Cornball. The front one is Hoosier Hurricane. Gotta try to keep them straight here. I love
Welcome to the Cornball Express. All guests must be at least
love the design of
46
corn on
inches
the
tall
side of
to
the train.
ride. As you board.
So last time I came to Indiana Beach, Cornball Express was closed. So excited to ride it this time. Had high hopes. It was okay. Couple of moments of airtime. I think the neatest thing about it is the really unique layout, kind of going all around this whole area, kind of circling this whole area, and then weaving in and out of out of Hoosier Hurricane. There's the really great drop that's like almost the same height as a lift hill somehow, like halfway through the ride. Then you got this really like flat helix that gives you tons of laterals, and a couple airtime bumps into the brakes, which are somewhere up there. So I think it's a good ride. I don't agree with Mr. Drew the Intern in that it's like #1 wooden roller coaster on the planet. I don't know if I would even say top 20 wooden roller coasters, but still really neat ride overall. One ride that is not open today because of the rain is tig'rr. Kind of like I think it's Schwarzkopf, like kind of a strange take on the wild mouse. Rode it last time. It's an okay ride, not super disappointing. You kind of come here for the main wooden roller coasters, and everything else is kind of gravy. There's more than gold on this adventure. The Den of Lost Thieves. It's a shooting dark ride here at the park on the midway area. I like the little boats ride vehicles. Check out that beyond 90-degree drop. What's crazy about this ride is like all the weird banking. Like you'll see it come around the curve right here, the outward banking. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Really unique ride. Surprised we didn't see more of these pop up. Small footprint and really neat. So in this part of the video, I have to record voiceover because the audio stopped working on my camera. Probably operator error. But I really wanted to still keep this clip in because this really shows off what makes Indiana Beach unique. The main boardwalk area. You can see right here how a lot of the flat rides are built on platforms over a lake. And now this is a real lake here where public lake, there's houses on the other side. I would guess vacation homes. It's kind of a vacation style city that anyone can live in. I think it'd be pretty cool to live across the lake here from a roller coaster and see, ride your boat right near the rides. But the park is really unique in that sense that there's this giant boardwalk area that's right on the water. And you can see in these clips here, there's no one there. And that kind of killed the mood a little bit. I want to show off the antique cars here. Again, you can see how this entire area is essentially built over water. I'd love to know how much of the park's actually built on land because this area, I'm standing on top of water. That ride right there is on top of water. The rides to my left are on top of water. So we're pretty much over water. But you can see here, also wanted to show off one of the stages. During the summer, there's concerts all over this place. Now just imagine for a second, it's a nice 75-degree day in August, maybe 80 in August, it's summer night. There's bands playing, the midway's crowded, you hear screams coming across these roller coasters. Some of them are closed right there. It's a completely different vibe. So I give the park a lot more credit. It's definitely one that you want it to be a little bit more crowded and come visit in the summertime. One of the rides that was closed, but I have to talk about is Lost Coaster of Superstition. Look how tight some of those turns are. This is a super unique ride. The only one in the world. It features an elevator lift, goes up through all these crazy sharp turns and dives. That's the whole layout. You can see the car there. You see this like cage thing and then go up that elevator style lift, that giant steel structure right there. And then it's kind of like goes in and out of this mountain mine thing. It's not super smooth, but it's really, really unique. So you have to ride it when you come here. Super crazy. It gets a long line because it moves really slow. Fascination. It's a must when visiting Indiana Beach. What is it? You roll. It's kind of like skee ball meets bingo. You roll these rubber style balls, a little smaller than a skee ball size, down here. You play other people in the parlor together. And you're trying to light up all those dots. So you're basically trying to get like a bingo or tic-tac-toe. So think about it like that. Only a few parks have these left, but I mean, Cedar Point used to have a parlor. Most old parks used to have a huge collection of these. Now, generally, you're in a room where you're playing against 5, 10 other people. This one has upwards of maybe like 50 machines. And there was times I remember at Cedar Point as a kid that you would literally have 50, 60 people playing all against each other. It goes much faster. Here we were just playing against 4 people at once. So it took probably 3 or 4 minutes before one of us got to win. It's harder than it looks. Let me just put it that. I keep getting the same hole. You got it? Look at that. In addition to Fascination, they have old school skee ball, 50 cents. Playing quite a few. and they're all in pretty good condition. I'm taking a break because I'm getting crushed. I had 130. She had like 260 last time. Really disappointed because I take my skee ball serious. But always love classic skee ball.
Fortunately, it's closed, but everyone usually comes to Indiana Beach, gets tacos at this taco stand. Heads up, the original taco stand that was here now has a shop in the nearby town.
In addition to the taco place I talked about earlier, they got all your regular theme park food, nachos, pronto pup corn dogs. That's a classic right there. Hot dog on a bun. I don't know what. Have you ever had a hot dog not on a bun? Weird they have to specify. Popcorn chicken looks strangely like chicken nuggets. But make it a combo. That's the best value.
Up high on the sky ride, which takes you from one end of the boardwalk all the way down to the other one, and a straight path following the boardwalk. You can see no one's there today, but you have a Larson Loop. You also have that boat there. Now that boat actually gives tours of the lake, because I think it's a 30-minute boat ride, goes out around the lake. Not running because it was pouring rain, as you can kind of see in the video here. Not very many people there either. But on your left, you have Cornball Express and Hoosier Hurricane, kind of a unique view here because you can see just how entangled they really are. That is Cornball Express with the smaller hill, but Hoosier Hurricane coming back into the brake run. Now on the right, you have the water park. The water park's not really the main selling feature of Indiana Beach. There's a couple slides. You see the yellow and red, then you see the blue one kind of underneath the sky ride, and then there's a couple more black and yellow you can see off in the distance. Couple little pool areas, but you don't go to Indiana Beach for the water park. Most people around the area probably have boats and live in those fancy cottages around and have beaches there. You go to Indiana Beach for the uniqueness. Now, is this a park I would recommend getting on a plane, flying across the country to? No, but if you're in the area, you're going from Holiday World to Chicago, look into it. It's about an hour and a half north of Indianapolis. But you go for the uniqueness. You go for like that beer hall right there that has cheap beer, and during the summer where they have concerts, and that really, you want to come to Indiana Beach when it's crowded, the cheap beer's flowing, they got cover bands, and you can really take in the whole experience. On a rainy day like this, there's not a great ride. And there's not enough great rides here to be like, yeah, I'm still having a good time. So come when it's crowded, you'll enjoy the park. How empty was the park? Well, if you look over there, you zoom in, that's my wife, walking all by her lonesome in the rain because she didn't want to ride the sky ride. This is 2 hours after the park opened. There was no one there.